Welcome back, guys. This is the second video in the series, and what I'm going to focus on in this video is two things. One, how to enter your scouts into your unit. It's fairly straightforward, so shouldn't take much to, but you'll enter them in. If you're using subunits, you can place them into that subunit. If you're not, if you've got a small unit overall and it doesn't make sense for you to break them down into dens or patrols, then you can just add in those users however, into one big group. Whatever works best for you, that's what you can go ahead and do. And then I'll also show you how to run a few reports so you can go in and look at what did you sell for product over the last couple of years. You can see what orders were placed, and that'll give you a gauge for this year's sale. You can take that into account when you say, how much product should I order for this year's sale. So let's get started. So again, I'm back on my web browser here. I have already logged into the system, and I am going to go. I've got my units. I've got my units, subunits set up, and I'm going to go in and now I've got to add some additional scouts. And again, these are my carryovers for scouts that I had from last year. You may find that for your unit, if you have to switch dens around from year to year, some boys drop, you get new boys in, end up recombining. It may be easier for you just to clear these scouts out and just start over from scratch. It's not terribly hard to add new scouts, as you'll see. So keep that in mind as a potential technique. But if it'll possibly save you, I've got a large unit, so it could save me from having to do a whole bunch of moves from subunit to subunit, recombining, etc. Sometimes it's better just to clear it out and start over. Do what works best for you. So what I'm going to just demonstrate real quick here is adding a new scout for in Den 1. Okay, and I'm going to go in here. I'm going to click the edit. Notice what I clicked on here, because if you click on the wrong button, it's going to change it. What I'm doing up at the top here, you've got an edit scouts that's under the pack 333 or your unit. There are no units assigned or no scouts assigned directly to this unit. All of mine are assigned to subunits. So make sure you're clicking on the right edit scouts button for where you want to edit or place these scouts. Okay. So in this case, here's Den 1. I'm going to click on the Edit Scout button under Den 1. I'll go in here. Now I've got access to all these folks here. I can add again. These are just warnings. Don't enter any personally identifiable information for scouts. Enter only the first name and initials. Use middle initial to differentiate between scouts if necessary. So this is going to show. You'll get the goals, etc., their login and their password, and what they are earning, whether you're going to go with a patch or a pin. You got those options you can check here. If I need to add a new scout, I'm gonna do it down here. And so I'm going to add, we'll just call him Joe Smith, okay? Is a new scout in my unit, so I'm going to add him to Den 1. So I'm going to say Joe, and then the first initial is S for Smith, and then I'm going to put his goal. This goes into whatever you set your individual goal for your scouts. In my case, it happens to be we go with a goal of 300. Yours may vary. Enter whatever is appropriate for you. I'm going to enter that in here, 300, and I'm going to select, okay, what does he want? Does he want a patch or a pin? I'm going to say we're going to go with a pin. So now I just hit the Save Changes. Whammo. Now Joe Smith is in here. He's got a user ID, he's got a password, and he's selected for a pin. So now if I need to add some more, I can do it. It's just that simple. Now I can go back here and I can go to the View Scout List, and there's Joe Smith, or Joe S, his transfer ID. Is he a new scout? I can say, yep, he is. And how much he sold off of each order. Whether this is this first order that's a column here is going to be the show and sell order. The second will be take order towards the end of the sale. And then the total sale for that boy. against his goal and what the percentage of the goal. So really handy for you to come in here week to week and keep tabs of what's going on. How that information is going to get in here so you can see it, that's where the beauty of this system is going to come in. And you're going to have each boy and their parent will be the ones responsible for entering their sales into a specific front end on their sale. So let's jump ahead real quick and talk about when. So now you've got all of your scouts in the system. Okay. Now, how do these user IDs and passwords and all this are kind of crazy and kind of complicated? How do I get these out to my scouts? Here's how. We're going to go in here to reports. So we're at the point in your sale where you're about to do your kickoff. Okay. You've entered all your scouts into the system. They're all here. You'll want to go in and print out this report for scout username and password. You can select, okay, do I want to do all scouts in my unit and subunits? I would recommend it, especially for your kickoff. If you need to go back in here after the fact later and reprint one for somebody, then you can do it. But I'm just going to say, give me scouts in, go ahead and give me everybody. So it's going to take a moment here while it brings this up. So what you get is a printout for every single, let me see if I can find Joe Smith here. Alright, so here's Joe Smith. Every scout in your unit, when you print this report, gets an individual sheet. Print them all out, take them with you, divide them out into dens, take them with you to your popcorn kickoff. Give them these instructions. And as you can see here, this has got their name, it's got the link to the sale, okay, and instructions for them what they should do. They're going to go take their, go to the link on a page here, and they'll have their username and their password entry, and they'll be able to click on one of two themes to enter into the system. And this is where they will enter what they've sold. Okay, I'm going to go out here just real quick. I'm going to highlight this and just show you exactly what it looks like. So I'm going to copy this, go to a new tab. I'm going to say paste in here, and off we go. All right, so here I am. I'm going to go back here. Let me copy Joe Smith's user ID and password. We're going to go paste that in. I'm going to grab the password off of here, and I'm going to check that. And let's go for extreme fun. All right, so this is what your individual scouts are going to see when they log into the system. They can set their own goal, but it will transfer, I believe, through what what you've placed as their goal. Where they're going to go here is should go to the ordering system, and where they'll click on here, and they'll be able to go order up. We've got no orders set up yet. At the time, once they get into, once we've opened and started the sale, they'll be able to log in here. I'll do a video after, and I'll show you exactly what this looks like. But they can go in and order and an order form. It looks identical to the paper order form that they can use to carry around. So when they enter that stuff, they go out selling for the evening with mom and dad. Hopefully they're supporting their scout. They go out and sell. They can come back at the end of the day or on the weekend or whatever interval you recommend. Usually I like to do this weekly so they can get a tally back. They'll go in and they'll just enter in their sales into what is this virtual form. Anything they enter for sales here will come back to you and will show up in the popcorn system under that scout's name. So that's how the information gets back into the system. How many they order on through this entrance, through this center page, a virtual form. They'll enter in, I sold 42 boxes of popcorn to Sally Joe Smith, and it will calculate all that, and it will pipe that information back through to you. So you as a unit administrator or colonel will be able to see exactly what your boy is selling and where they're progressing against their goal. So really handy stuff. That's also going to cut down dramatically when we go to turn in at the end of the sale. It's going to make it much more accurate. No more of that, is this a 1? Is that a 2? Is that a, how many boxes did I miscount, having to run through all that. This is going to make your sale much more accurate. So take advantage of it. So I think that's about all the time I got for this segment here. I didn't get a chance to get into reports on how to look at plan for your show and sell order. We'll get that in the next video series. So tune in. Thanks.